The skull crawlers are made to be unique and horrifying enemies of Kong in Skull Island, but what are the origins of these nasty creatures? Well, Kong Skull Island is the second installment of the MonsterVerse cinematic universe, following Gareth Edwards' Godzilla in 2014. The movie sets itself apart from Godzilla by taking place in 1973 and featuring another protagonist titan and other new monsters. While Godzilla and Kong are obviously the main players of the MonsterVerse, there are plenty of other kaiju to contend with. This includes the skull crawlers, who become the major threat of Kong Skull Island. In fact, the reason why Kong attacked the army helicopters is that they were bombing the island, awakening the subterranean skull crawlers from their nests. These creatures were responsible for wiping out Kong's family, leaving him as the last of his kind. So, the skull crawlers got their name from the skull-like heads and their crawling locomotion. Their true name is known, but unspoken by the natives, or it might just be a set of nodding patterns. So the name Skullcrawler was invented by Marlowe as he explained their history to Weaver and Conrad. Little is known about the origins of this voracious predator, although its evolutionary purpose is abundantly clear. The Skullcrawler exists to devour, destroy and dominate. Subterranean in nature, burrowing up to the geologically unstable steam vents across Skull Island, it is as though the Skullcrawler climbed out of hell itself. Terrifying. This terrifying serpentine is a hypervore, a creature with such a hyper-adrenalized metabolism that it exists in a constant state of starvation. Just as a shark must keep swimming to survive, the skullcrawler must keep feeding, dislocating its own jawbone so as to maximize its ability to swallow anything that crosses its path. We have observed different skullcrawlers in a wide variety of different sizes. Given the unreachable depths of their subterranean nesting grounds, we have no way of knowing how big these things might get, or the pecking order that governs their tribal feeding patterns. The Skullcrawler's history on Skull Island is revealed in a vision. It says that the Skullcrawlers attempted to invade Skull Island and waged war against Kong's ancestors. When the Iwi first arrived on Skull Island, the Skullcrawlers had wiped up all but two of the strongest apes, which turned out to be Kong's parents. The Skullcrawlers then attempted to kill Kong's mother while she was in labor, but Kong's father kept them at bay. After Kong was born, his mother hid him in a cave and sealed it with rocks before she rushed to aid her maid. Kong then watched as the Skullcrawlers slaughtered his parents. In the novelization of the King of the Monsters film, the Skullcrawlers intended to leave Skull Island upon hearing Ghidorah's call, but they are stopped by Kong before they can do so. So that's about everything known to us about the origins and history of the Skullcrawlers. Let's discuss their abilities and weaknesses. Skullcrawlers are very durable as they can withstand bullets from rifles and the searing heat of a flamethrower. The largest of the Skullcrawlers was having only 2 legs, and their speed matches or even surpasses that of an adult human. As the apex predators of Skull Island, the Skullcrawlers are fearsome and deadly in battle, using their jaws full of razor-sharp teeth. Smaller Skullcrawlers are easily distinguishable from the larger ones, aside from the size, obviously. Their heads are smaller and more sloped. They also possess a more prominent brown skin tone. Larger Skullcrawlers are almost as big as Kong, and their heads are more defined, larger and somewhat angled. However, as terrifying as they may seem, these kaiju do have quite a number of weaknesses, with the main ones being their state of constant starvation.
Hungry, precious hungry.
And their 2-legged stance makes them prone to be toppled down. Their tongue, which is used as a weapon or a tool for capturing prey, is vulnerable as any strong opponent could pull it out, like how Kong did against the big one. Regarding the size of these creatures, the smaller ones have a height of around 12 feet, while the big one was stated to be 95 feet tall but looked more like in the range of 70 in front of Kong. Their weight also varies from 10 to 100 tons, but the big one could have easily been in the range of 500 tons. Easily. Since their kind wiped out Kong's species and there is a very large subterranean cavity underneath Skull Island, there might be a probability of bigger skullcrawlers in hibernation. So thank you for watching this video and do subscribe for more monster and kaiju related content. Also put in your thoughts in the comment section.